Last week I met my friend. He said, Anand, there is too much uncertainty around. People are talking about recession, job losses and things like that, and I was not sure where to invest my money, and therefore I put my money in FD, fixed deposits. At least with FDs, I am guaranteed some amount of interest come what may. To which I told him that while yes, great, you have invested in a fixed deposit, which is good, but then here you have actually guaranteed a loss of at least 1%. He said, Anand, are you okay? Are you feeling fine? Why are you saying that I'm going to lose money in a fixed deposit? Let me tell you that in this video. Please do watch it till the end. So I asked him, what is the FD rate that he's getting? He said, I'm getting about 7% for a 2-year FD. I said, great, you're making 7%, but as you know, you are in the 30% tax bracket. Therefore, the net post-tax return that you will make on the fixed deposit that you've invested is about 4.9%, which is 7% minus 30%, which is 2.1%, which is equivalent to 4.9%. Now you may think that I'm making 4.9%, which is great. Now on the other side, we need to remember that there's a big devil in the form of inflation. Inflation is a big hole which a lot of people ignore. Inflation today is running at the rate of about 5.9%. So if I were to deduct 5.9% from the post-tax yield that you made, net you're going to make 1% loss, because you made 4.9% post-tax minus 5.9% inflation, which is equivalent to negative 1%. So therefore, at the end of 1 year, you're definitely going to lose 1%. You may think that you're making 7%, but if you factor in for inflation and the taxes that you've paid, you will end up making 1% loss for sure on a 7% fixed deposit. To which he said, okay, why don't I invest in my mom's name who doesn't have an income? Or why don't I increase the tenure of the FD? Because for every 1 year increase, I think the interest rate goes up by 50 basis points or 1%. So from 7%, I can go up to 8%. Or he said, my father has an account in a cooperative bank. They are giving a very high interest rate. Why don't I park my money there in that particular cooperative bank, because they will give me huge interest? To which I told him that yes, you can invest in your mom's name, you can gift some money to her and get some interest out of the FD that she earns, but the issue is it's not a long-term solution. At the end of the day, the money is yours. At some point in time, you have to consolidate, and at that time, it will come and hit you hard. And to answer your second point on increasing the tenure, even if the interest rate goes up by 1%, net post-tax, you're going to make 0.7% more, which is still below the 1% loss that you're making. And therefore, you're not going to even earn 1 rupee, even if the tenure increases by 1 or 2 or 3 years. And finally, to answer your question on the cooperative bank, I don't think you should do it. Why would you risk your money by giving it to a cooperative bank where you're not sure of the quality of the company or the bank itself? Why would you risk your money for 1 or 2% additional returns? You should always focus on return of money when it comes to any investment than return on money. What I'm trying to say here is that yes, you may make 1% extra by giving to a cooperative bank, but if there is a trouble in the bank, you may lose all your money. You don't want to have that kind of a situation while giving your hard-earned money into a debt product. If you really want to have a solution for it, you need to address 2 major issues. The first is taxes and the second is inflation. Now, if I were you and if I want to keep my money in a debt product, I would tilt towards debt mutual funds. While in the short term, debt mutual funds are taxed as good as a fixed deposit, if your investments are more than 3 years, debt mutual funds can be charged at 10% without indexation or at 20% with indexation. Now, let's say you invested at 7% for 3 years in a debt mutual fund. The taxes that you would pay in a FD is 30%, while in a debt mutual fund, it'll be as low as 5 or 6%. By doing so, you're guaranteed to not lose your money in a debt mutual fund to inflation. And second, now you may think, isn't it risky to invest into a debt mutual fund? You can actually lend your money to government securities. Central governments are a lot more safer than a private bank, isn't it? Or if you really want to earn a little higher interest, you can opt in to give your hard-earned money to a AAA rated company. Yes, AAA rated companies like INFS also went down, but the chances of them going down in general is low, and therefore you should diversify your debt investment into AAA rated corporate paper that can offer you at least about 9% kind of a interest in a mutual fund. And finally, if you want to take some risks, opt in for slightly lower rated AA rated credit papers, which can give you close to 10% kind of an interest. But remember, it is extremely risky to lend your money to a corporate which is already AA rated or below. So my suggestion to you is, if you're going to invest for more than 3 years, go in for something like a target maturity fund or a fixed maturity plan or a AAA rated credit risk fund. He was convinced. He said, okay, let me break the FD, but what about the liquidity in a debt fund? When I break FD, I get the money immediately. To which I told that debt mutual funds are as liquid as an FD, and if you redeem today, the money hits your account tomorrow. When I met him yesterday, he had already broken the FD and invested into a 3-year target maturity fund full of government securities. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found this useful. Happy investing.